And on to our player introductions over here in the bottom right starting location. We have our legendary Zerg from Wings of Liberty here in Heart of the Swarm. He is
Master LGIM Kangho.
His opponent, one of the best Protosses of all time here in StarCraft 1. Now here to prove himself in StarCraft 2. He is
Master Samsung Khan Jangbi.
All right. Of course, it looks like he's going to go for a Gateway Expand, which is what you would expect from Jangbi. Like, if you just asked me out any Brood War player that was good enough that I saw some of their games in StarCraft 1, I could tell you what build fits them in StarCraft 2, and this is definitely it for him.
Yeah, no, this is very Jangbi-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a one-on-one map. They do know each other's starting locations. And, that means there's a lot of builds that you can do on this map you can't do on a 4-player map, for instance.
Yeah, that's right. Just knowing where your opponent is very powerful. And in fact, you know what? It's going to take a little bit for anything to happen. So I actually want to talk about something having to do with that with you. Because this is something that I oftentimes when I'm streaming, because I stream a lot of ladder on the Korean server, whenever I get Whirlwind, I get angry and just say this is not as good a map as the other maps because the travel distance to scout all bases in the beginning of the game, you can't guarantee getting into their base.
Yeah, that's a
you
very
cannot. You can
very
guarantee it
good point.
against Zerg, but you can't against Protoss or Terran. So I wanted to know what your thoughts are because for me personally, like you give me a 4-player map, I love Star Station right now with the forced cross spawns.
Yeah.
Beautiful map, a lot of fun. Balance is another question altogether, but just it's a good map because I can scout them if I want to. Whereas on Whirlwind, you cannot reasonably guarantee yourself a scout.
No, I totally agree with that.
Okay.
That makes me insane, actually, when I...
Yeah.
Like, it's these 4-player maps that are too big, and I'm like, well, I just scouted the wrong way. There's no way that I could know.
Especially when it's PvP and I scout the wrong way and he scouts the right way.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I guess you're probably going to win.
I'm so penalized for something that's not my fault, you know.
All right, I want to, because I figured you had the same opinion as me because you're such a smart guy. And my opinions are always right, but no, it's something I felt like bringing up.
He went for a double gas super soon here, by the way. And we actually have Kangho making a hatchery at his opponent's expansion.
Pretty cool. Now, it's a good thing that he got the double gas because if he hadn't, then this would just be annoying because he'd have to start the double gas now anyways. But we'll see what he does with this. If he finishes, tries to get a queen out. What do you think? Is he going to cancel or is he going to finish this hatch?
I don't know because I'm not a fan of the strat for Zerg. I feel like it's something you do once to catch them off guard. I don't know if this is something you do against Jangbi.
You know what? He might be doing it against Jangbi because this type of strategy was more popular back in the day in StarCraft 2 before Jangbi was active.
That's a pretty smart point, actually. Now, I predict he's going to cancel, but no, I was completely wrong, and he's actually going to go for a drone here. Probably trying to make a spine crawler.
And he's not going to make a queen. That's one thing I was wondering if he would give that a try.
I don't know if it would get out quite in time.
Yeah. Well, the reason why you would do something like this is it slows down their expansion so unbelievably much. Like, this is not the build that he had planned at all.
Getting the evolution chamber up here. Really nice. And again, this is denying the fast expand here for the Protoss. I got to say, Jangbi has adjusted very well for this. So you gotta wonder right now, is this actually penalizing Jangbi or is Kangho putting himself behind?
Okay, so it's a very good question. And a lot of people might be wondering, why did he throw down the evolution chamber when there's already creep there and it's obviously going to die first? Well, the thing is, he actually was stalling Jangbi coming across the map because Jangbi's army actually right now is pretty scary for this part of the game. Yeah. It's something that obviously Kangho is not going to want to have like a ton of slow Zerglings to deal with it, so he was just slowing that down a bit.
Yeah.
Now this scout is absolutely brilliant. Seeing the robo
catching that perfectly.
Yeah, that's very important. And now he sees the Immortal, so he's so aware of what's going on here, and I would not be surprised if this turns into, like, he's going to get a Warp Prism, I would say, and he's probably going to go up to 3 gates.
You think he could do some Immortal Harass here?
Yeah, Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Immortal, 2 shots workers.
And
so.
don't forget, the Warp Prism got that big upgrade recently. It's so much faster now.
That's a very good point, too. Yeah.
And he's actually going up to 4 gates. It's going to help with his wall in and just give him a little bit more warping power because probably he'll stop producing out of the Robo. Now, we'll see if he actually gets that Warp Prism, but this is just a very powerful early game set of units to have. And in fact, you can see that Lucira has already had to grab a couple spines, and he is mining his gas and getting a bunch of queens because that's what Lucira does.
Yeah. Looks like the mothership is coming in here. And it looks like he might be doing some pressure in a minute here. Proxy Pylon. This is a weird game that it's hard for, I think, you and I to both call because we don't see a lot of people make the hatch and let it finish and then see a timing like this.
Yeah. Well, this counter that he's doing to Kong Ho is actually really weird. I've never seen anyone go into Immortal
quite like this.
Well, he's forcing a lot of spines, which is nice. And don't forget, with that hardened shield, he could get up and maybe snipe a couple buildings or something. But
yeah.
Okay, there we go. Finally, the Warp Prism is on the way. So that's actually where it's going to get very interesting. He could ferry all his units into the main. Those spine crawlers, although they can uproot, not the fastest things to reburrow.
All right. Well, Zhangbi has definitely adjusted really well. And it looks like now, okay, this is probably the best move here. He's going to go ahead and clean up all the overlords on the map.
Yeah, especially in this area where his Warp Prism's coming. Ooh, that was actually a little bit sloppy.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I can't believe you revealed that.
You can assume that it's coming, but if you don't see it, there's always a question.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can always hide something from them, definitely hide it, unless you're trying to show them something to trick them, which he's not. So he can actually elevator these units up here.
And they got to be careful because he can force field units in and kill them very easily.
Exactly, and he can even force field the zone units in and keep them covered.
Yeah. So Kong Ho is turtling like a maniac right now.
That's kind of a weird place to time warp.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like that actually.
Wasn't the most useful.
That didn't seem very well prepared.
Oh, he's forcing on the ramp, Tasteless. Really nice move. But all the drones are coming out as they should be. A good try by Zhangbi. If Kong Ho hadn't responded perfectly, then that could have been very good.
Well, I like the fact that he's so flexible with this strategy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. He could have elevated into the main. He could have. He tried doing the force field in the ramp. Triggered 2 more spines there for Kong Ho. He's doing a great job. Now,
he's giving him every opportunity to screw up.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It looks like, again, he's going to go ahead and check the third base here and see that, in fact, there is no third base speed made. So, the pressure's on. Right now we have a Zerg that attempt to stifle the Protoss economically. And the Protoss, off the bat, has just completely re-engineered his play style, punished the Zerg, denied the Zerg's third base. Zhangbi, it looks like he should be in great shape to potentially win this game.
Well, Lucira right now is actually getting Swarm Hosts, and of course getting Enduring Locusts for them. Kind of interesting that we're going to see these Stalkers die. That was a little bit sloppy.
A little sloppy here.
And now the Lings can get in? What?
All right, well, we'll see.
Or not, never mind.
It looks like he wasn't going to punish that, but now we have the Warp Prism coming in, going to go ahead and drop on these drones. Will we have a Warp in as well?
Looks like no, he will not, but he does see that Locusts, or rather Swarm Hosts, are on the way, and that's some very important information. Immediately throws up that Robotics Bay. I would love to see him throw up a Senga Robotics, and there you go, Senga Robotics,
boom.
Bam.
Beautiful.
Zhangbi, I think, is going to be able to take this game, Tasteless. He has a Warp Prism. He's getting Blink, and he's going to have double Robo Colossus.
We got a Nidus Worm on the way over here.
Good choice as well.
This is very interesting. Mm-hmm. This tells me that Kong Ho has decided he can't win in the late game. He has to try to end this very soon.
Yeah, he is going to go for that. Now, if Zhangbi stays super active out here, he could make the Nidus Worm. I'm like, what do you call that tunnel thing underground? The Nidus Worm appear pretty far away, which would be helpful for him. But
to be frank, I don't see this working for Kong Ho.
I don't think it's going to.
I don't blame him for doing this, but I just don't know how effective this is actually going to be.
Well, this set of strats. We'll see how it works out. Wow. Oh my god. This is huge. And now all that Zhangbi has to do
prepared for has been denied.
Zhangbi has actually just toyed with Kong Ho here. Or not, well, I guess not toyed with, but
manhandled.
Manhandled. There you go. Thank you.
All Zhangbi has to do now is keep making anything Protoss related that can attack, and keep an eye on the impending Nidus Worm that's going to come up here. Yeah. And he should be in great shape. But even a little drop like this here with the Zealots is enough to slow down that attack with the Nidus Worm.
Yeah.
All right, Nidus Worm is spawned now, but it has been spotted as well.
That's right. Well, the thing is, with a double Colossi being produced at the moment, plus 2 weapons on the way, I can't even tell you how much I like this position for Jongbi. 2-base Swarm Host is a very all-in build, so if Kongo doesn't get something done right away, which I find very hard to believe that he can do it, you know.
All right, we have some Locusts coming up here and harassing. And I gotta say, I'm under the impression that Kongo already knows he's probably going to lose this game.
Yeah, and look, right now, Jongbi actually hitting that 3rd base, keeping him on 2 bases. The only thing I would like even more is if he had the Mothership Core with this army. That would be,
I gotta agree with that.
That would be the perfect move. But in fact, it looks like he's gonna go home. Or, no, wait, he's just popping in different places. Never mind.
Okay, so we have 2 Spires on the way. Is that a mistake?
Yeah, for sure.
That can't be intentional.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to get 2 Spires.
Yeah, he's just getting the Spires to actually try to get either Mutas or Corruptors. Thing is, once you have 4 to 5 Colossus, you just make nothing but Stalkers and you run them over.
Yeah, no, you said it perfectly. And so now he's going to push forward here. He should be, I don't think this game's going to go on for more than 5 more minutes here. I think Jongbi actually just comes up here and takes this.
This is being decided right now. Notice he has to run. Well,
all right, continuing to move forward here.
He has a lot of Queens, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Between Force Fields and Guardian Shields, it's going to be hard to actually do any damage here. Look at that, perfectly done.
He can actually zone out these Locusts here.
Yeah. And now he's just going to target that down and gets it. A couple left over. Blinks forward and is going to try to pick them off.
All right, the Swarm Host now turning around. We have another Nidus Worm here. I don't know how effective this is going to be. By the way, Jongbi now taking a 3rd base. Kongo here on 2 additional bases here. I don't know how long they're going to last or how much they could function economically. Now we have Jongbi moving up here. Beautiful, getting that Nidus Worm once again.
Yeah, very well done. Picking off so many Swarm Hosts all over the place. And the economy of Lucira just can't support anything at this point. He's making a few Corruptors, but as I said, Tasteless, once you get 5 or 6 Colossus, you just put all your gas into those Stalkers, and even if they end up killing all the Colossi, you've killed their entire army already.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one thing Kongo has done is stalled here, but stalling won't always win you games. In this case, it certainly won't. We now have Jongbi's army pushing down southbound here.
The one, I really like the snipe on the Mothership Core. That's a really nice one. But the one saving grace is all these Spine Crawlers. This is really going to slow him down a lot more. And in fact, he doesn't have many Force Fields left, so
no, he doesn't.
This is going to be hard to break through still, but I do give the lead to Jongbi without any question.
Well, we don't have the next set of Locusts about to pop out here. And it looks like they're just now coming out, but is this going to be enough in time here? The Colossi just melt through all the Locusts the moment the engagement begins here.
Nice little flank going down, though. They do draw the shots of the Colossi a bit, but here we go. There's very little support left, and now he can just target them down. And as he's dying, so do the chances of Kongo winning this game.
Expect GG any second here, as Jongbi is now punished severely Kongo by taking out all these Swarm Hosts. And this is one of these weird phases of the game. You can keep making Stalkers and pretty much win.
Yeah. You see, he's trying to desperately get his spines down, but as long as Jongbi beats this area down, the game is his.
Yeah.
And it looks like he should be able to as well, Tasteless.
All right, nice blink micro here. And again, another Warpin is about coming here with these Stalkers. I mean, that's it. I mean, stick a fork in Kongo because he is done right now.
Wow.
And now we got he's still in the game, but he's going to lose that hatchery now.
Well, he's got half the supply. He's still on 2 bases against 3 bases.
There we go. GG.
All right.
Really,
you know what? I really